Point Break 33, Speed 30, The Matrix 25, and John Wick 10.
Friendship and acting with Alex Winter.
Point.
The genius of Catherine Bigelow and the beauty and professional awesome.
Every day, I share another story from the Golden Age and the moments that shaped an unforgettable era. If you'd like to keep these memories alive with me, hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it means a lot. Thank you for being here. Now let's begin. Keanu Reeves never moves halfway on anything. He goes all in every single time. Carrie-Anne Moss knows this better than almost anyone because they've been side by side for over 2 decades, bonded through the Matrix like Neo and Trinity, locked in destiny forever. When Moss once asked him for a few movie recommendations for her teenage sons, she expected maybe a short list. 3 titles, maybe 5. But Keanu, he treated the request like it was a mission only he could complete. He scrolled through years of messages, dug through old notes, searched for something that clearly mattered to him, and then dropped 2 full lists, 20 films total, each one chosen with real intention. Moss explained it perfectly. He was tired, overwhelmed, juggling work, yet he still carved out time to give her something thoughtful and meaningful. That's just who Keanu is. No favor too small, no request beneath his energy. When he helps with heart. These films open a window into the man beyond Neo and John Wick.
The Matrix changed my life, and then over these years, it's changed so many other.
The selections stretch across 7 decades, packed with Kubrick, Mel Brooks, Akira Kurosawa, Coen Brothers classics, wild samurai epics, dusty apocalyptic westerns, legendary horror films, and comedy greats. Each one taught him something crucial: how stories breathe, how cinema speaks, and how movies hit deeper when made with vision and fearless creativity. This list isn't just a set of recommendations, it's like a private masterclass from someone who genuinely studies film like a craft, someone who respects movies from the ground up. 10. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, 1975. This wild comedy flipped King Arthur's legend inside out and turned it into pure chaos, in the best way possible. Monty Python dragged medieval myths through total absurdity, giving us knights who ride horses made from coconuts, warriors scared of a killer rabbit, and the iconic knight who keeps fighting after losing every limb. It's ridiculous and brilliant at the same time. Keanu loves comedy that shakes up expectations, and this film does exactly that. The Pythons had deep knowledge of classic storytelling, and that's why they could break every rule with purpose. They drop plot lines, break the fourth wall, and turn serious myths into hilarious nonsense. Their comedy wasn't random. It was sharp, smart, and fearless. Nothing stayed sacred after Monty Python got their hands on it. Keanu took from this movie the idea that understanding your craft includes knowing exactly when to flip it upside down.
They're a big kind of like comedic writer, actor tree that comes out of Freaks and
Yeah, a
Geeks.
lot of Jake Kasdan was directed the.
9. Blazing Saddles, 1974. Mel Brooks went straight at America's racial tensions using Western comedy as his weapon. No fear, no hesitation. The story follows a black sheriff arriving in an all-white frontier town, with Gene Wilder riding along as the Waco Kid. Brooks knew Westerns so well that he could pull apart the entire genre while still celebrating what people love about it. This movie doesn't spare anything: racism, Hollywood tropes, Western traditions, or even the fourth wall itself. Keanu paired this film with Young Frankenstein, another Brooks masterpiece from the same legendary year, and the connection makes perfect sense. Brooks didn't preach. He exposed prejudice by showing how ridiculous it looks when exaggerated and dragged into the light. Comedy becomes a tool for truth when done with intelligence and bravery, and Keanu clearly respects how this film pushed boundaries while still being wildly entertaining. 8. Amadeus, 1984. Milos Forman crafted something unforgettable with Amadeus, showing Mozart's genius through a story dripping with beauty and jealousy. Tom Hulce plays Wolfgang with this wild electric energy, while F. Murray Abraham Salieri tells the story of a man tortured by recognizing someone else's greatness. Amadeus sweeps you into 18th century Vienna with stunning detail, costumes, music, sets, everything glowing. But the real weight comes from Salieri's internal battle. He sees Mozart as touched by something higher, something he could never reach, and that truth eats at him piece by piece.
Comedy's hard, right?
Sure, death
Right?
is easy, comedy is hard.
Yes,
Exactly.
comedy's hard.
Keanu chose this film with purpose because it shows how genius can look effortless while others grind and push themselves to the edge, trying to match it. Abraham's performance makes that feeling universal. The struggle of dealing with someone whose talent shines brighter than yours, even when you work twice as hard. Amadeus won 8 Oscars for a reason, and every single one made sense. The film is grand, emotional, and brutally honest in a way that sticks with anyone who creates anything. This film showed Keanu the real weight behind creativity, the price people pay chasing mastery. Talent never gets handed out fairly. Some folks wake up gifted, while others grind their whole lives without touching that same spark, yet both paths still create meaning. The movie respects Salieri's discipline while celebrating Mozart's wild brilliance, reminding Keanu that passion counts even when someone else has the natural edge. 7. The Outlaw Josey Wales, 1976. Clint Eastwood directed this heavy-hitting Western, crafting one of his strongest stories ever. Josey Wales loses his family to Union soldiers, and the pain pushes him straight into the shadows alongside Confederate fighters. When the war ends, Wales can't flip the switch. He's still holding on to rage, still picking fights, still running from everything he lost. He becomes an outlaw drifting through broken towns and open plains, collecting misfits who see something in him that he can't see in himself.
Into the second one, I could start at a higher level. So there's more judo, more jiu-jitsu.
Eastwood plays Wales with a tight, barely controlled fury that feels ready to snap at any moment. Redemption doesn't show up clean or easy. It creeps in slowly as he starts building a new kind of family, one built from people who've also been through their own storms. Keanu considers this essential Western viewing because Eastwood knew the genre inside out, yet still pushed it deeper. Wales isn't a flawless hero, he's a wounded survivor, trying to figure out who he is when violence no longer defines him. The film digs into post-Civil War trauma, showing how conflict can twist into identity if you're not careful. Chief Dan George brings wisdom and sharp humor, while Sandra Locke adds warmth and possibility. Eastwood shoots massive landscapes, but he never lets the scenery drown the human story. Wales's journey from vengeance to connection unfolds at a slow, realistic burn. Every step earned. Keanu took from this the truth that big action only matters when the character underneath it changes. Without consequences, violence is just noise. 6. Raising Arizona, 1987. The Coen brothers came firing out the gate with this wild comedy, announcing a voice totally their own. H.I. McDonough keeps robbing convenience stores, Edwina works as a cop, and somehow these two fall in love and try to build a life together. When they realize they can't have a child, they make a reckless decision that launches their world into total chaos. Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter play the story with full commitment, turning an absurd idea into something surprisingly emotional. Keanu loves how the Coens mix heart and humor without losing control. Barry Sonnenfeld's cinematography gives the movie its cartoon-like reality. Big motions, big characters, big energy. The action becomes slapstick. Yet beneath it sits a real couple dealing with real longing for family and stability. The Coens never look down on their characters. They give them respect, even while pushing them into mayhem. The apocalyptic biker, the dream sequences, the wild tracking shots, everything feels bold because the filmmakers trust their own style. This taught Keanu that a unique voice only works when you're confident enough to commit to it completely. Precision and personality together make something unforgettable. 5. The Evil Dead, 1981. Sam Raimi changed the entire horror game with almost no money, and Keanu loved that fearless ambition. The setup is simple. A group of friends visit a remote cabin, play a mysterious tape, and unleash terrifying forces that twist reality and possession into pure chaos. Bruce Campbell battles through madness, including scenes where he fights his own rebellious hand. The film doesn't just scare, it attacks with wild creativity. Raimi's camera whips through the woods, dives through windows, and moves like a living creature stalking its prey. Keanu chose this cult classic because it proves something filmmakers forget. Innovation beats budget every time. Raimi didn't have fancy equipment, so he strapped cameras onto boards and sprinted through the forest, turning limitations into style. That raw, shaky, aggressive movement became iconic. It made every frame feel dangerous and alive. This movie taught Keanu that imagination can overpower money. Technical restrictions can spark new forms of artistry when you're willing to experiment. The energy of The Evil Dead feels bigger than productions with 10 times the budget because it comes from a place of pure passion. 4. The Professional, 1994. Luc Besson created a piece of European action cinema that blends grit with elegance, and Keanu has deep respect for that. In this version, Leon is a solitary professional trying to live a quiet life, keeping to his work and tending to his plants, until violence forces him to protect a teenager who's escaped a dangerous situation. The film frames their connection as a guarded mentor-style bond built on survival, trust, and learning how to navigate a world filled with corruption. Jean Reno plays Leon with a mix of toughness and vulnerability, while Natalie Portman delivers a breakout performance filled with sharp emotion and strength. Gary Oldman's Stansfield arrives as one of cinema's most unpredictable villains, twisting every scene with an unsettling energy. Keanu recommended Besson's earlier French film La Femme Nikita as well, but The Professional shows Besson at full power. The movie blends action with emotional layers, creating a story where two people from different worlds teach each other how to stay human in a life full of danger. Leon teaches discipline and survival, while the young girl teaches him compassion and connection, handled carefully and respectfully on screen. This film taught Keanu that great action isn't about explosions. It's about characters who change each other in ways that hit deeper than the gunfights. The action scenes in this film hit hard, but the quiet moments stick even deeper. Leon drinking milk, Matilda practicing her aim, those scenes build emotional weight piece by piece. By the time danger shows up, the audience actually cares who makes it out alive. Keanu understood from this movie that flashy action means nothing if the story doesn't give us characters worth worrying about. The Professional proved that action can rise to the level of real artistry when heart and danger work together. 3. Seven Samurai, 1954. Akira Kurosawa created the all-time grand action epic with Seven Samurai, a film that shaped the blueprint for nearly every modern action movie that followed. A farming village faces relentless bandits, so the desperate farmers hire samurai to defend them. 7 warriors arrive, each packing their own skills, philosophies, and energy. The samurai train the villagers, build defenses, and prepare for a fight they know could cost them everything. When the battle finally arrives, Kurosawa films it with razor-sharp clarity. Every slash, every fall, every act of courage feels like it shakes the ground. Keanu put this masterpiece on his list because it practically invented the rhythm of modern action storytelling. The introductions, the training sequences, the layered personalities, it all flows with purpose. Kurosawa didn't rush anything. He let us meet each warrior, understand them, and feel the friction between their different worldviews. Kikuchio's wild spirit clashes beautifully with Kanbei's steady leadership, giving the story its emotional spine. When these warriors fall, the losses hit brutally hard because the audience truly knows them. Keanu learned from this film that powerful action needs structure, patience before impact. If you sprint into the fights, the blows don't matter. But when you build character first, every hit lands with force the audience can feel. 2. Taxi Driver, 1976. Martin Scorsese took a dive straight into the darkest corners of New York City with Taxi Driver, crafting a psychological storm that still echoes today. Robert De Niro plays Travis Bickle, a man driving through the city's midnight streets, absorbing every broken piece of the world around him. His isolation grows into paranoia, frustration, and a dangerous belief that he's meant to fix everything. Scorsese shoots Manhattan like a fever dream, neon lights smeared across wet sidewalks, alleys dripping with tension, and an atmosphere that feels like anything could snap at any moment. Keanu admired how the film studies Travis without ever explaining him. There's no neat answer, no clean justification. We simply watch a lonely man mentally spiral as the city's chaos starts sinking into him. The movie refuses to label Travis a hero or a villain. He sits in a murky space where he's both and neither. That uncomfortable ambiguity is exactly what makes it powerful. Keanu learned that great filmmaking isn't about easy clarity. It's about asking the kind of questions that force audiences to think long after the credits roll. Complexity beats simplicity every time when telling a story about a mind caught in conflict. 1. Dr. Strangelove, 1964. Stanley Kubrick turned global destruction into pitch-black comedy, creating a satire so sharp it still cuts today. Nuclear war becomes the punchline, the problem, and the nightmare, all at once. Peter Sellers flexes genius by playing 3 roles: the president, an RAF captain, and the unforgettable Dr. Strangelove himself. General Ripper's paranoid decision to start World War III to protect his bodily fluids sends everything spinning into madness, while George C. Scott's General Turgidson treats the end of the world like a sporting event. Kubrick shoots it all with serious, documentary-like precision, making the insanity feel even more unhinged. Keanu also admired Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, but Dr. Strangelove is where Kubrick's control, humor, and menace combine most perfectly. The film tears apart the logic of Cold War politics, exposing how leaders can hide behind systems that enable chaos. Everyone thinks they're acting rationally, even as they push humanity toward the edge of annihilation. Thus, Kubrick showed Keanu that cinema doesn't have to play it safe. Movies can challenge authority, expose corruption, and mock power in ways that shake the room. Dr. Strangelove didn't ask permission. It came at the world with boldness and didn't apologize for it. That commitment to truth and vision is the lesson Keanu carries forward. Create boldly and let the work speak with full force. These films shaped Keanu's understanding of cinema, from Kubrick's precision to Raimi's wild creativity, from Kurosawa's epic scale to the Coen's fierce originality. Each movie delivered a lesson in courage, craft, vision, and storytelling that helped form the artist Keanu is today. Which film on this list flipped the way you look at movies? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you felt something real, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.